friends, Namaste. This is the last part of the video of South Africa. We are in Johannesburg. Whole group is very thrilled, happy. We are now going back to India. But there are also people very sad because now onwards, in the morning when you come to the table, you want to get the breakfast, to make the breakfast and feed others. And you don't know what to make in the morning, always a little confusion for the women folk. And also men folk, they have to go back to their job. The piled up job will be there and what all problems will be waiting. So everybody is a little gloomy because of going back to India. But nevertheless, I am very happy to go back to India because I have to do the next tour of mine. So the hotel which we were staying last night was Emperor Palace. It's the best hotel. It's a suite we were staying. Each two of us got a suite and I was alone in my room. So really they had nuts in the room kept and beautiful soaps and shampoos and brush and so many things they kept in the room free of charge. You can take away kind of, And the breakfast was so huge, about I think more than 200 items were in the breakfast in the morning. And the previous night we had some function over there. It's for us, for the people who are going to live over there. And just like the Las Vegas Fashion, the entertainment center, it had all huge cut out, and the property is so big, about 4 properties, one other, and ours is a suite arrangement, the best one among the hotels, among the Emperor Palace suites. So we really thoroughly enjoyed, and today we go for a little shopping of the little typical South African type, and then we go to airport. So the tour was so fantastic, and everybody enjoyed. You also enjoy. I'm sure I enjoyed. I'm sure would have made more friends by sharing these videos. So people enjoy, become very close to you. They, they keep telling you thank you, because it's a gratitude they would show when you share the video, because it's because of you they are getting. That's one. And secondly, at this time, I would like to take the opportunity to thank all of you, and also want to give you some information on the South African visa. Many people ask, seeing the site, oh, South African visa is free, isn't it? South African visa free doesn't mean it is cheap or it is easily available. It is one of the most difficult visas, I would say, because all other visas, the prescribed format, the prescribed requirements, once you fulfill, once you submit, you get the visa. Here in South Africa, the tour operator is also a little rigid, because once to get the final voucher, we had to completely make the payment of the tour. This is what happened to me here. And also, you have to issue the ticket. Now the group ticket, generally this places, that time Emirates, the only airline which was frequented to Cape Town and Johannesburg both. So when we issue the Emirates Airlines ticket, group ticket, it's non-refundable. The hotels and the sightseeing and the entrances and the meals, which are once paid, also non-refundable. You got to make at least 50% of the payment to the agents abroad, 100% payment to the airlines for the ticket, and rest of the expenses of the office you have to anyway incur. You cannot say something not to be inculcated. Everything is part and parcel of this tour. So when we do all those things, mostly I had taken only people who have been to UK, Europe, and people who have been to America, those people who have the American visa holders. Yet sometimes the South African consulates call for the personal interview of the people because they feel they're giving the visa free. So they have to make sure 100% that nobody, a wrong person, enters South Africa, and they already have problems, not to double the problems. So they are pretty sure about choosing the people who are going to visit South Africa. In this pretext, when we submit the whole documents to Mumbai, and after that, they choose certain people in random probably, and ask them to come for the personal interview. Now guess here what happens, people who have already been to America, etc. For South Africa, until and unless you have seen this video, you have enjoyed the tour, you have the information about the tour, the experience, the surprises of the tour, you are not sure what you are going to see. This is South Africa, and South Africa is not so much publicized in this part of the southern India. So the doctors, the advocates, the chartered accountants, the businessmen who are very busy, who are the people who usually travel to these places also. They are very busy, they don't want to take suddenly a time. And what they do, South African consulate do, they just give a particular date. When they get the papers, they keep for a while. And after some time, they check with the agents abroad and the hotels whether so-and-so person is booked. Yes, booked and paid, okay. And they check the airline's ticket, Emirates, they check the PNR, and okay, it's a ticket, it's a correct ticket, it's issued. Now what? They want to call the customer and talk to them. So when this kind of a thing takes place, our people, they are not realizing that all these things are paid for, and if you do not go for the interview, if you don't meet up with the requirements or whatever communication they require, if you don't do that, your visa might not get granted, get rejected, then all this money will not be refundable. Many times our customers in India, not only in Kerala, all over India have this feeling. But abroad people are sure, once paid it is non-refundable. Very little only you get. That now in COVID everybody understood. Now for us also, after this tour, we had another group tour of about 35 people. It was a smaller group, that was a bigger group. So what happened is everything is done. One particular group, one family of 5 were there. Husband, wife, 2 children, and one of the daughter's husband and another relative, 5 people. They had applied and they were called for the person interview. And this gentleman is a doctor, he was very busy in India, in Kerala. He could not make a trip with the family. And the particular date which they have fixed, the date and time was given. And we have to go to Mumbai on the previous evening at that time and stay next morning to reach 10 o'clock. The consulate go one day prior. So when that night is gone, next day after the interview, there is no flight to come back to India, Cochin. So next day only you can take early morning flight. So you have to stay for 2 nights in Mumbai, which was not acceptable to our customers. So these people who got the visa inquiry that you had to go for the personal interview. So see my problem, I tried my best to convince to touch the feet, but they said no, we have enough problem. We had been to America, we had been to Europe, UK, and this South Africa, if you don't get the visa, it's okay. But I told it will be non-refundable. You got to this that. Hey, nothing doing. What happened? They did not get the visa. They were rejected. Not only that, the ensuing other group, the members, everybody were called for interview, except 2 very old senior members, husband, wife. They were about 80, 75 plus. Everybody were asked to come for the interview. And when they did not go, many people didn't want to go. So now what to do? The whole group, tickets were issued, payment was made, the group couldn't take place. I went to Mumbai to speak to the consulate. They were very upset on hearing that. Why? The customers do not want to come for the personal interview. It's unheard of, they said. Now, in our land, most of them had been to America. They find America is the richest country, the superpower of the world. Over there is no problem. Why in South Africa? We are not going to live in South Africa. Our time is over. So here we had a tough time. The money was not refunded. Airline wouldn't refund, and the agents won't refund. And we were made to refund to the customers. We lost good sum of money over there. And it was really painful, tearful days for Nalina Pothuval. Today is 10 years old. I'm still remembering those sins, what happened in the office. Customers getting agitated, angry, coming, shouting and trying to manhandle us. All these things took place at that time. That too on a particular day when I was absent from the office, I was away. And I just want to part this information with you, because please do not ever try to do all those things. When the consulate is asking you to go for interview, you must be prepared to go for the interview. You cannot say no. Only thinking these aspects, you must book the tour. If you feel that you are not that person to go for the person interview, then do not ever book the tour itself. Whether it's me or anybody. During those days, there was nobody undertaking the tour to South Africa as such. We were courageous enough to do that with our good experience. So thank you so much for listening to me. I hope you would pass this information to many others. and the rules are quite lightened now, but still the rule is a rule. Now, after the COVID, we do not know how it's going to be shaping up. We are all to be taking rest for the international tour right now, and we are just experimenting what we could do the next post-COVID era. And thank you. Please share it, subscribe it, like it, and enjoy. After this next tour, we are going to give you about China. Today is the free day, actually, the time for us to depart from Johannesburg in South Africa back to India. So we had little time in the morning, so everybody said they would like to do some shopping. I said okay, so we called the driver a little earlier, and there was some problem on the road, so we diverted it to the shopping center, then to the airport, so that they could have that about 1 hour or something typical of South African to buy off. Of course, they bought something on the way here and there, but we did not get that kind of a time to do clear shopping, because we're busy with the sceneries and scenic world. We were in a mesmerizing world all the time. So we are moving to the Gala shopping arcade. This entrance, again here also you see only the typical of South African items, and it's a sightseeing center, I should say. I can't say it's a shopping mall. It's all again about South African culture, depicting sculpted and all the marvelous beauty which is shown all again South African and South African. Now when we talk about it, like many late 19th century mining towns, Johannesburg was a rough and disorganized place, populated by white miners from all continents. African tribesmen recruited to perform unskilled mine work. Now African women were brewers who cooked for and sold beer to the black migrant workers. There were a very large number of European prostitutes, gangsters, impoverished African origins tradesmen, and Zulu Amawasha, Zulu men who surprisingly dominated the laundry work. As the value of control of the land increased, tensions developed between the Boer-dominated Transvaal government in Pretoria and the British, culminating in the Jameson raid that ended in fiasco at Donkop in January 1896. The Second Boer War, 1899 to 1902, took place, which British force under Field Marshal Frederick Siege Roberts. Now, as it goes, fighting took place at the Gadsden Pass near Sakaria Park on 27th May, north of Benwikhorst, today's Mansfield, Eldorado Park, and Naturena. The next day, culminating in a mass infantry attack on what is now the Waterworks Ridge in Soweto and Senaroin on 29th of May. In 1917, the Johannesburg became the headquarters of the Anglo-American Corporation founded by Ernest Oppenheimer, which ultimately became one of the world's largest corporations, dominating both gold mining and, of course, diamond mining in South Africa. Major building development took place in the 1930s after South Africa went off the gold standard. In the late 1940s and early 1950s, Hillbrow went high-rise. In the 1950s and early 1960s, the apartheid government constructed the massive agglomeration of townships that became known as Soweto, New Freeze, encouraged massive suburban sprawl to the north of the city. In the late 1960s and early 1970s, tower blocks including the Carlton Center and the Southern Life Center filled the skyline of the central business district. Under the system of apartheid, that's Africans for apartness or separate development, the system was founded by the British. A comprehensive system of racial separation was imposed upon South Africa starting in 1948 for its growth, actually. The economy of Johannesburg depended upon hundreds of thousands skilled white workers imported from Europe and semi and unskilled black workers imported from other parts of southern Africa. This goes the history of Johannesburg in South Africa. Even in May 2008, a series of riots started in the township of Alexandra in the northeastern part of Johannesburg when locals attacked migrants from Mozambique. However, today it is cooler. The South Africans have come closer.